You really do this time, though.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle Sports and Gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Hi, this is Jeff Johnson. You're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Rob's too good to dance. Anyway, welcome back, kids, to our holiday episode. We're going to talk Home Alone. Well, I am Phil.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night.
Hey, I don't. You're supposed to be starting this thing, Philip. Come on.
I'm going. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Santa's little helper from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa. The next large object.
And she who puts the bomb, bah humbug. It is
Little Hellfire.
And our special guest, a man who's never allowed to be home alone. It is.
Oh, this is where I say my name? You filthy animal, Phil. This is Rob Southgate. Buy my swag.
A man who showed up, who's known a lot around the Chicago area, who shows up in holiday movies for 5 seconds a clip. It is.
No, and those checks just roll in. Someday I'm going to be able to buy a gumball.
He's signing it.
Yeah, he's got carpal tunnel from signing 12-cent checks.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of them that I didn't even get those. So.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Rob.
How dare you?
What you have actually built outside of that. I mean, that's the thing. It's we all dream of greatness in the arts, and you have achieved more than anyone here has.
Whoa.
And yet then you went on and built your own empire afterwards, and that is impressive.
Well, when you're young and have lots of talent, then your father can ride your coattails, right, Rob?
I'm
Shout
just
out to
saying.
Molly, the best Southgate.
Yeah, right. First best. Well, we were with my parents today, so I dropped down to number 5. I do not count the cats.
Oh, yeah, you'd be even lower.
Oh, my.
Cats aren't special. They're like
That's not what your Facebook memory said.
Oh!
No, my Facebook memory said...
My wife made me get a cat.
I wish we had a cat, because people with cats post cute cat things. I don't have a cat. And actually, I even said at the end, because as the memory has faded, I would say kids are better than cats.
Good job, Lil. You just signed Tristan Esser has to wear a cat costume on Christmas Day. Is warrant, okay?
Please let that be true.
I don't make my children do things. My children do things on their own, and that
I don't make monkeys. I just train them.
All right. So, I guess we're here to talk Home Alone, right, kid?
Yeah.
That's too, but Christmas movie.
I'm going to say this.
This is your Christmas special, right, Phil?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I
Maybe you
actually
can
think
introduce
the
that.
McAllisters are very deeply in debt. I think they're comfortably well off, but I do think they're living way beyond their means.
The
It was
McAllisters.
the 90s. They just came out of the greed is good 80s. Of course they're living above their means.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone always talks about, like, oh, how much did that house cost? But it's
Actually, he's a mob guy, but we're not going
I was
to
going
get
to say,
into that
drug dealer? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking family money the whole time.
Mm.
No, but the thing is, so this is where it's interesting. It's the brother-in-law who's going to Paris because he's starting a new job in Paris.
Right.
And part of the sweetening of the deal is they're paying for the brother, his family, and his brother's family, who are the McAllisters, to come to Paris. So that is the whole franchise. It's not the McAllisters.
if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's what the McAllisters do, I'm not saying what they do. I'm just saying it's actually the brother that is securing, the thing. So while they do have this lovely home, and it is a lovely home, they're not going to Paris on their own. It is being paid for by the brothers' company.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Which is not believable, even in 1990.
Not
even a French company. No.
The McAllisters live in Winnetka. It's a very wealthy area. It's a lot of old money. So who knows what they do? Very likely, this is where people end up, like, their kids become financial planners because that's all they do is obsess about money. This is just kind of how it is. We used to own a store up there, and these are exactly the people that you dealt with. I mean, you just kind of, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. It is just kind of that culture there. So everything there, the McAllisters and them having that kind of house and that kind of money, very believable to me. Doesn't matter what they do.
It's a John Hughes movie at the end of the day.
Right.
He did direct it, but he did do the screenplay. So this is very John Hughes in the suburbs of Chicago type story.
Right. But it was very believable to me. No matter what they do, it's old family money. Mm-hmm. That's what I saw.
He probably has a job like one of those Hallmark jobs. He's a shoe cobbler in a town that has like 4 people, but he's still successful.
He may in fact be the Kielbasa King of Chicago.
Whoa!
Oh well.
Nobody.
Hey, look, no, meatpacking was at one time a very growth industry in the Chicago.
Shut up,
packing.
Hey. I read The Jungle. You don't kill that many immigrants without making a nice amount of money out of the deal.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Capitalism.
Hey,
America.
Look, if you fall into the machinery,
whoa,
that's why we're supposed to have guardrails.
You become
Gotham without ocean.
And anyone who's wondering what this is like, just watch the very end of Halloween Ends, because there's a moment very similar to what Charlie's talking about.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I
don't know what it is, but, if it's like everything
watch
else.
The Mangler. Same thing.
The Mangler.
Oh, my, not really watchable. I hate myself for having watched it.
Anything with Robert Englund is watchable. It doesn't mean you'll enjoy it. But it is. You can physically.
You're gonna enjoy him though. He's a party.
I always enjoy Robert Englund. Oh, I'm gonna wear a gimp mask and murder.
Fun fact: this is one of my first movies. My mom.
That has nothing to do with Robert Englund. What are you talking about? You're talking about that guy from that new Batman movie.
That's a close thing to have you saying that you're a killer. Okay, sorry. It's like
I'm not a killer.
Situational specific.
I just know how to dispose of a body. That's a very different set of skills.
I'm a writer. That's why my internet history looks like this.
Women like to see people get murdered.
So,
anyways,
Lilith, you started actually talking about this movie.
Yes. So
what did you say?
This is one of the first movies that I remember my mom taking me to, actually. And I remember the second one. She goes, "There's a second one? She lost her kid again, and you want me to take you to see it?" She's like, "Fine." But yeah, this was like my favorite franchise. I had this on VHS, and I literally wore that VHS out. I'm talking, it was donezo.
Did you have a talk boy?
Yes, of course.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
The beginnings of Lilith the podcaster.
I love Macaulay. I love his brother, Kieran, who's also in this film as his younger brother, too.
Fuller.
Really cute.
Fuller.
Yeah.
I like Buzz. Am I the only person who likes Buzz?
Probably.
Oh, Buzz is funny too.
The older brother, man, he's having he has his own issues, man. He's got all these.
Is where they lose us. We don't do Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, or the Disney Home Sweet Home or whatever that was.
Yeah,
no, as soon as when French Stewart enters a franchise, it's over.
Unless it's Third Rock from the Sun. Let's be clear.
No. Home Alone 2, Donald Trump made sure we got no more good sequels.
Yeah.
No. I will. First of all, I'll say that French Stewart is a very fine actor. I do like him in a lot of work. He was
Alan Tudyk of his day. Are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, really. The man does a lot of work.
So was Rob Southgate.
He did. He was in Love Stinks. That one was all right. Wasn't he in that one?
Love
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh yeah, Love Stinks. Okay, I'm remembering Love Stinks now. I get that confused with Life Stinks, which was a Mel
Not
Brooks.
good. That was a bad Mel Brooks movie.
Oh, it was okay. That's
No,
fine.
you're not getting past me on that one, Charlie. That's a bad Mel Brooks movie.
I mean, as a Mel Brooks movie, is it a 12 Chairs? No,
No,
it is not a 12 Chairs.
as any movie, it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Although I'm not a fan of Mel Brooks from that era. Really after History of the World, I did not like Dead and Loving It. I didn't like Spaceballs. I know everyone loves that.
You didn't like Get Out.
No, you know what?
No, it's okay.
Kick 'em.
Everybody's
Kick 'em.
allowed to think. See, for me, Mel Brooks's peak is 12 Chairs, and I like Life Stinks because to me, it's him trying to be serious.
Yeah, it didn't
within
work.
his own comedy milieu.
Charlie, shouldn't you be growing a hipster beard if 12 Chairs is your favorite Mel Brooks movie?
That's beyond hipster.
How do you-
I don't even
Well,
have a word
like
for
I
How do you
have
that.
it
not
1,000
say-
times.
No,
I mean,
he's old hipster. What wouldn't you say? Young Frankenstein
Nice
is
mustache,
his
Charlie.
finest film,
um,
and I'm a big 12 Chairs fan, by the way. I
yeah,
love it.
no. Well,
And
what
the
I
producers
like
was
about-
fantastic, also.
There's a drop.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is Young Frankenstein is a really good film.
I think it's his best film.
Well, it's a best film in the parody genre, and that's the thing. It's like if you want to pigeonhole him to parody, then yes, that's his best film. But the fact of
No,
the matter is,
I want to pigeonhole him as a filmmaker. I think it's his best film.
Okay, well,
And then right behind it is 12 Chairs and Producers. If we're talking films, then you get to Blazing Saddles, where his parody stuff goes nuts. Are we talking about Home Alone?
No, actually, and again, right there, I'm going to push Blazing Saddles up a notch because Blazing Saddles is really a masterpiece of the
Charlie
cowboy
and Robert show.
He was the original co-host of Super Connectivity many years
We
ago.
know.
Anyway, moving right along.
Anyway, yeah. So
So yeah, I was just trying to set the picture. It's 1990. It's Christmas season.
Anyway, so yeah, but
I'm 3 years old going on 4.
here's what I love about this film is they do cover all their bases. There are reasons why everything that happens in the way it does. They establish early on. You even have Joe Pesci with his gold tooth, his lucky gold tooth.
coming in as the cop. Yeah.
Because he's trying to figure out, are you going to be gone this holiday season?
Yeah, he's casing the joint.
Baby.
Yeah. He's casing the joint and is immediately seeing all the chaos that's there, which is nice. But also creates a situation where Kevin McAllister sees him. And also, and again, to Joe Pesci's character's credit, that comes back. Where Joe Pesci is also very well aware of Kevin McAllister and knows that this kid saw him and he's seeing that kid.
Right.
And he's reading the reactions. And also, again, to just give it to Macaulay Culkin here, I know that this was heck on earth for the poor kid, but he is actually a really good actor in this. It's
does a good
He's
job.
going to become an even better actor who's had his troubles, and I can't wait for another comeback of his.
I just watched it today. I just watched the last episode of Righteous Gemstones, which if you haven't watched, and Kevin McAllister
that's definitely
is
set a good change of.
he's fantastic in it too.
Yeah.
Him and
But
Linda and the baby, I'm so happy for them. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that age, I mean, they carry this kind of movie.
Yeah.
Well, they had a market for these kind of movies back in the day. I mean, big screen, not just Disney.
Oh yeah,
TV
no,
shows.
yeah.
They that's what I miss. Like, I feel so bad for the kids of this era. They just get marketed kind of squabble and whatever,
Well, and they're just getting streaming stuff, unless it's a big animated film, which now is pretty much streaming, or something in tights. They're not really getting the film experience that we had. But we can sit around like a bunch of grumpy old people crabbing about it, or just go, you know what, things change. It's how it is. It'll come back around. It's cyclical. I mean, heck, Molly wants to buy vinyl. It's cyclical. It all comes back.
I prefer cassette, but whatever.
Well,
Really?
and I
No,
Lilith,
I'm kidding. It's a
Lilith
joke.
with her pile of
It's a
singles
Charlie
over
joke.
when
there.
it comes down,
It's a Charlie joke.
what
I
it comes
prefer
down
cassettes.
to
I
is
have
the
singles
fact
of
that
everything.
8-track.
From 8-track. That's how
You
this
know,
show should
what
be
it-
presented. About every 20 minutes, you're and then it goes back into the next track. Charlie froze.
No, he didn't.
yeah.
That's just Charlie having a stroke mid-show.
Well, from my perspective, you all froze. Yeah, it's okay.
Phil
We
told a
actually
joke.
our
It
Wi-Fi
does it every
ran
time.
power
By the way.
earlier, so right now we're on powered time.
All right. So, Lilith, that brings up a good thing. What's everyone's first experience with this movie? So you said
Yeah, I
you were a
can
kid. It was your
reboot it.
first
You
movie
know
you
what?
thought you saw?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. That I remember.
Yeah.
I know my parents
Okay.
used to take me to the movie.
Let
all
me
the time.
jump
This
out.
I
You guys
remember.
talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes.
Oh, we get to talk? Okay.
No, I'm hogging this. This is my time to shine as a 90s child. Screw you guys.
I want to hear it. Phil, when was your first time seeing this? What
I saw
memory do
this
you have?
same as Lilith. I saw it in the theater. Of course, I was a little older. I was like 12, but yeah, my parents
Oh.
took me to the movies. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know you were that old.
Oh, I know.
Were
I'm
you
almost
still,
as
did
old
you still want the Talk Boy? Or no? Were you out of that market?
I was kind of out of it, but I mean, I enjoyed the movie.
It was good seeing a kid in the lead of a movie. Like I think that and like Richie Rich, I think were like really like some of the first. For
Well,
the
again,
90s
if you're
kids.
taking if the whole family's going to see a movie, when are they usually going? We're usually around Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were married already when this came out, I believe. And we took my nephew to go see it. And he was really little. And we had the best time. We loved it. He loved it. Turned out it was really influential to him. Like growing up, it's like one of his favorite movies.
It's why I'm a John Hughes fan. Honest to God.
Yeah, he completely loved it. He was one that had the Talk Boy too, and he'd walk around doing the annoying commercial all the time. Because that's what you do. You get the toy, and they do this dumb thing on the commercial where they use the Talk Boy, and then that's all the kids do is they get the Talk Boy and they just do that. As opposed to this annoying kid who, when he got his first tape recorder, recorded his very first podcast inadvertently. Read all about it in Pod Life Volume 1, available at Amazon.com.
Links in the show notes.
Links
Wait a
in the
minute,
show
this
notes.
is Patreon. There's no show notes.
Well, there should be.
What? There'll be show notes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that was our first experience, was taking my nephew, and we were, what year did this come out?
90.
1990. Okay. So we were 22. So, I mean, we're still pretty young at that point. Not far out of high school, but it definitely gave us the warm family feels. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a fun movie. And ironically, it's directed by Chris Columbus, who actually I think had a lot to do with the script. I know it's a John Hughes movie. I think it's actually a Chris Columbus movie, in my opinion. And he was a producer on Jingle All the Way. So I spent 2 days having a nonstop conversation with Chris Columbus. We got along famously. He was awesome guy.
Hello, Charlie.
Funny thing.
Hello.
Disney wouldn't have the rights if Warner Brothers would have kept. Can you imagine? Warner Brothers fumbled the bag so hard on this because they sent it over to 20th Century Fox because they blew the budget. They're
No,
like, nah, we're good.
no, I can't believe it. Warner Brothers made a bad business decision. No, I don't believe it.
Business decision since I know since the beginning of time. But yeah, I just when I read that, I was like, wow.
It's been all
'Cause this
downhill
went on to
since
become
Jack
one of the
Warner left.
highest grossing comedies of all time. I think only The Hangover 2 topped it. So that was a really
And I mean,
long
Chris-
time.
Yeah,
Christmas
27
It
years,
was
I think
golden,
I read.
It was Golden, Golden Globe. You know how it is.
And it's a
for-
Christmas movie. I mean, those get played over and over. I mean, Christmas Story. I
They
mean,
fumbled that bag so hard. I was
Elf.
just like,
Elf. I mean, the
wow.
one channel was just playing Elf the other.
Yeah, 24 hours of Elf.
24 hours,
24
yeah.
Story. I saw A Christmas Story in the theater with my friends Andy and Eddie when it first came out. We were kids, and nobody knew anything about this, right? And our parents dropped us off at the Century 123 Theater, which is what used to be over here. Now it's a Chinese buffet, and
As all things eventually become.
they would drop us off, and we were those kids. It was like $3 for a movie or something stupid like that, which was awesome. But they'd drop us off, and it was like, here, they're your babysitter. So we'd just go from theater to theater, and Christmas Story, we got in there, we watched it, and we stayed in the theater. We watched it 3 times that day. Yeah. We loved it.
Did
We
you
thought
at
it was
least buy some
hilarious.
popcorn?
No, but I'm sure we did. But that might be the movie where Eddie, who was a couple years younger than us, in between movies, all of a sudden comes back with this thing of popcorn and he's eating it. We're like, where'd you get money for popcorn? More popcorn? He was like, oh no, people leave it on the floors here. I just put it in a basket. They just throw it away. We're like, yeah, you're gonna die. That's awesome.
You're going places, kid.
No, to be fair, it's
System on
honestly,
1,000.
if you really think the popcorn you get off the floor is any better than the popcorn you get at the stand, you've obviously never worked in a movie theater, so
And gross.
yeah, well,
Don't ask about the tortilla chips at the Mexican restaurant.
anyway, yeah. So where do we leave off? Because I'm back now.
We were talking about where the first time we saw this film was. What was your experience, Charlie?
Oh, well, I saw it when it came out. Obviously, it was the only film that was playing. I saw it with my brother who was mean to me, but that's okay.
Oh, like Kevin and Buzz. Like Kevin and Buzz.
Is he an older brother or younger?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Christmas Story. I actually never saw this in the theater. I was a bit more grown when this came out. Sorry, we were talking about Christmas Story. I was thinking about the Christmas Story that I did see in the theater. That's a great film.
So you
this
didn't
is
see
also
it in
a
the
film.
theater?
No, why would I? Why,
Did you
it's
see
like,
it on like basic cable first or like a VHS?
yeah, I
or
saw it on
Blockbuster?
basic cable like everyone else. Like everyone else of my age group, because I'm not a child, and this was a children's movie. This came out in what?
Good movie, first of all.
How old are you, Charlie?
Well, when did this come out?
1990.
1990. So I was
Teenage Charlie.
Yeah, I was a junior in high school. Thank you very much.
Rob
That's why he didn't go.
was 22.
I was 22, but we took my nephew. It was very family time.
Oh,
going
well,
to see a
yeah,
movie.
that's.
But you know what? That didn't matter. Maybe I would have gone to everything. We didn't care. We weren't movie snobs. We're,
Yeah,
well, when you're
was
22,
a movie snob in his earlier years.
When you're 22, you can go back and watch like youthful films because you have the intellectual status to process it.
When we were 18 and we were having our first date, we went and saw one of our first dates. We went and saw Lady and the Tramp.
Which is a classic, first of all. I will have no Lady and the Tramp slander, not even the remake.
No, Lady and the Tramp is a fantastic film.
Lady and the Tramp, that's what they called the two of them.
But
Phil, was that on a note card? Have you been waiting for that joke for a while?
That's right. That's right.
Somebody's going to say this sometime. I can't wait.
Getting back to Home Alone.
So when was the first time you saw Lady and the Tramp, Charlie? I'm kidding.
No, Lady and the Tramp I saw like years ago. I saw it when I was a kid, and I've seen it as an adult. It is a Disney classic for a reason, because
because it's a Disney classic.
Yeah,
because they put that on the box.
They put it right.
It was in the box. It had to be good, Rob.
Right.
Everything. You know what? Here's what I'll say: is like Disney has made some rather bad films over the years that do not get as much play. Lady and the Tramp is not one of them.
Oh, I thought you meant the Eternals.
Oh!
Rob, what did I tell you?
Well, first off, that's not a Disney product. That's an MCU product. So
I couldn't help.
And you wait. Eternals is gonna get its day, just like Thor 2 got its day.
Wait, Thor 2 got its day? Thor 2 got its day?
Maybe you don't read my social media, but I watched Eternals not that long ago for the first time, and the first 20 minutes I hated, and then I fell in love with it. I thought it was great.
What, you went to sleep?
No, the first 20 minutes are not good, but after that, it actually is good, which is ironic because most movies, the 20-minute mark is when everything starts to happen. It's your change, and like the story starts at 20 minutes. Watch every movie. You can time it almost to 20 minutes. And in this one, that is when it started, but it's like they kind of forgot to write the first 20 minutes.
Well, all of human history is a little rough to cram into 20 minutes. And I guess that was their basic premise is
so
all of human history, 20 minutes.
Did you guys read any of the trivia about this movie at all? About
Home Alone?
No, but I'm sure Lil probably knows it.
So do you know who was originally supposed to play, what is it, Marv? No, what's the other one?
Harry.
Harry. Did you hear who they originally looked at for Harry?
Mm-mm.
Any guesses?
I'm gonna guess either Chevy Chase or Dan Aykroyd.
Robert De Niro. Would you like to guess who the second choice for Harry was? Because Robert De Niro said, I'm not doing that.
Pacino?
There are no.
Well, I don't know. I
Not
guess so.
Pacino.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Oh, yeah, John Lovitz. And then the third
Oh,
choice.
John Lovitz, I could see is good. John Lovitz.
you.
But he said he wouldn't do it because it was a kid movie. Because,
Is that on
John
that money?
Lovitz. John Lovitz has so many choices. And then
What?
the
that's probably why he did Mom and Dad Save the Universe, because he says, I'm not passing up on a kid's movie a second time.
Right.
Got him. Bazinga.
and then Joe Pesci. And Joe Pesci was, I love Joe Pesci. I
He
loved
said,
him in
what, do I
this.
look like a clown to you? Am I here to make you laugh?
Go get your shine
I
box,
thought you were
Kevin.
talking about the Bruce Stern role, not the Joe Pesci role. Okay.
Hey, Kevin,
So
can I borrow this knife? It's not for anything. I mean, we're going to take a ride. Well, I look like a clown to you?
See,
I'm here for your amusement?
Meanwhile, my favorite one is, My Cousin Vinny.
My clock is
Iconic.
ticking. Yeah, that's
That
a great movie.
is the finest film ever made.
Actually,
Correct.
you know what? It's not a good movie, but the Super, he's funny in. It's just not a good movie. It's kind of like a half a movie, But Casino,
What?
I mean,
My
Joe
Cousin
Pesci
Vinny?
is just wonderful. No. The Super.
No, My Cousin Vinny is honestly a nearly perfect film.
I love that one.
But
Plus, it's
we
got
will
Fred
agree
Gwynn
to
in it.
Well, we
Yes!
don't know why I watch it, but
Fred Gwynn.
No, Marissa Tomei.
No.
Oh, yeah, Marissa Tomei.
got an
Yeah,
Oscar.
Aunt May.
Her-
I love how the judge looks at her like, get you a man that looks at you like the judge looked at Marissa Tomei in that movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Confused that she's with
But-
Joe Pesci? You mean that look? My biological
Again,
clock
Joe
is
Pesci
ticking,
is a
ticking,
lovable
ticking.
character in this. This is actually
He's a
the one
lovable
time.
scam, just trying to, scam his way into millions. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Capitalism.
not millions. He's just trying to be a lawyer. He's trying to defend the innocent against a cruel, unfeeling social order that full of cops.
Charlie, you know what movie
You
we're
know?
talking about, right?
I'm
I'm just asking for a friend.
Are we talking about My
Home
Cousin
Alone.
Vinny?
So,
Home
so
Alone.
Home
Back to
Alone,
Home Alone. Okay.
another thing I read with Joe Pesci is he kept swearing. So Chris Columbus, because that's what he always does, right? Chris Columbus trained him to say fridge.
Oh.
Come here, you frigid kid.
Which is so funny to me. That just cracks me up because Joe and Joe Pesci stayed away from Macaulay Culkin through the entire thing because he wanted Macaulay to be legitimately scared of him.
They were the same size.
Oh.
Hey kid, can I borrow these pajamas and this knife? It's just we're going on a thing.
A2, Lilith, A2.
Anyway.
I'm actually taller than Danny DeVito, Joe Pesci, a lot of
Oh, that's a
people.
high limbo bar.
Halle Berry,
Well,
I'm taller than. Plot twist.
Are you?
Bitch.
Really?
Yeah, she's only 5'3". I'm 5'4".
Really? Oh, you took Maeve as well. Not going to throw her under the
And
bus,
I'm
but
5'9" in heels, so suck it.
Ooh, WNBA. Wow.
and Phil, you're what, 5'5"?
No, just my personality.
Yes.
He's got short king energy.
I'm 6 foot. Well, maybe 5'11" now. I don't know.
I'm 5'11" and 3/4, except I've lost the 3/4 in recent years. So
Oh,
As you
Anytime a
do,
guy says he's 5'11", that means he's 5'8". Just saying. Because if you're gonna be 5'11", you might as well just say 6 foot. That's just how it goes.
well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people think I'm 6 foot because I carry myself like a 6 foot tall person.
Andy
And
wears
people are
lips.
always shocked when I tell them I'm 5'11" because I take up a lot more space than I should. But that's just my white privilege.
Yeah, see, I say I'm 6'1", but I'm measuring this way.
Hell.
Over here, old kid.
Anyway,
Anyway,
my favorite bit of Home Alone trivia is that it got accused for plagiarism from some French guy, as you always do.
Really?
If you know, you know.
Yeah, right.
So
That
that's
was my
favorite
idea.
thing.
I wrote this first, and then I wrote Pink Panther, and then I came back to this, and you stole it.
There's a drop.
Thank you.
No, but the French version is a kid is home alone with his elderly grandfather, and they get robbed by a guy dressed up as Santa Claus.
Oh, nice. Isn't that the movie Them? Lilith gets my joke.
Like, what about, when you give a broad statement of
if you write enough screenplays, you will have a French person accuse you of plagiarism. I don't know what it is, but that happens a lot. It's like the Jerry.
I'm just glad that Mark Twain is dead, so he can't sue people, because he is. That's always
the ultimate Americana, suing people.
Although to be fair, Mark Twain would sue them if he was alive today. It's the man needed money, so.
But the burglars. Just in case you were feeling bad for them, of course, Marv has to turn on the water and destroy people's property. Just in case you're feeling bad about them.
Yes.
Yeah. Although, and again, that's what gets them.
And
again, like Joe Pesci, and this is where Joe Pesci is a bad boss, because he repeatedly tells them, "Don't do that.
Right.
Don't leave a calling card because that's going to track it back to us." And then as they're being taken away, the cops say, "Hey, it's a good thing you always left that calling card. Now we can associate all of these thefts with you guys."
Yeah, really dumb.
Like the worst Abbott and Costello bit ever. Abbott and Costello go to jail. They might as well call this one.
Well, you know what? Really, it is very Abbott Costello-ish, and it's just a Looney Tunes cartoon. The whole thing. Yeah. Not just the gags, but if you look at how it's constructed, the entire thing. Charlie, you were talking about how it's constructed from the beginning, how they set things up, the gold tooth, all that. Watch any of the classic Looney Tunes, especially the Bugs Bunny ones. They're set up exactly the same way. So that's all this was. It's a Christmas Looney Tunes.
Well, I would argue that this is, and actually the Abbott and Costello reference, I didn't even think of that until now. And I'm thinking, you know what? This very much is an Abbott and Costello film filtered through the Three Stooges. So you can actually build out, like, you could do this film in like the 1940s.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is which is probably why it's a Christmas classic, because it hits into ideas that are classics for slapstick comedy.
Right.
This is a really horrifying bit of slapstick comedy.
Okay, we were talking before about our first times watching this. Luca watched this for the first time when I was rewatching this.
Did he
9 years
or
old.
Is he too sophisticated?
No. Well, no. What was his first thing at the end of the movie? He's like, "Wait a minute! He cleaned all that up before his mom got home the next day."
Nice.
Obviously, Danielle doesn't beat that kid. Good for him.
Well, to be fair,
I think he was saying.
That's latchkey kids.
No. Yeah, I know. No, but I'm just saying. I think Luca was like, "Is it physically possible that he could fix all that by the time they got home?"
Well, but the thing is that it doesn't matter. She's just happy.
Yeah. But
she was expecting the house to be on fire.
Yeah. But
dead.
But if you look
so
at the room,
she's like, "Oh my goodness, you didn't burn down the house." Kevin.
Plus, they didn't have cell phones or anything, so.
This definitely wouldn't hold up. Now it's like Seinfeld; it wouldn't hold up.
So can I? I'm going to share a.
They did knock out the phones, and he is just young enough that his parents might not trust him with a cell phone.
Or they might have. They were all leaving. They thought they were all leaving town. They might have taken the cell phone with them.
Yeah,
or at least the charger.
Yeah, but they would have called the house from their cell phone until he picked up. It would have been on.
Oh yeah. But the phone line.
Yeah.
So plus, they probably would have had one for him and had Find My Phone, so they could track where this kid is.
Exactly.
So
now they would have Ring cameras. Let's be honest.
That's right.
Alexa, find my son.
Let me share my personal.
He's got an Apple AirPod tag.
I have a personal Home Alone story for you. Everybody get your hot cocoa. So this year, my friend Jack, everybody knows Jack from Nuff Said. Jack's mom died. Sorry to bring everybody down. Okay. And of course, what did we do? We jumped in the car and we went to Nashville to support him, go to the funeral. And Molly was staying back with her girlfriend, Lucy. She was going to go into Chicago and stay at Lucy's. So We got up at 2 a.m, I think. We're driving to Nashville. We had a whole thing worked out. Molly was going to get up. Our neighbor was going to drive her to the bus station, and then she was going to go down to Lucy's. About 6 a.m, we've been driving for 4 or 5 hours. Lucy's mom writes, "I'm throwing up. It's awful. Molly can't come." Home Alone, baby. What were we going to do? So Molly stayed home.
I mean, what's the worst you're going to do? Make you dinner by the time you get back?
I mean, seriously. That's
She's making an episode of Making It with Molly? Like, what? I mean, come on, it's Molly.
Clean the house. I know.
But we were freaking out. We're like, oh my God, we totally Home Alone this. We, of course, called all the neighbors that we know. We're like, can you watch?
What's she going to do? Right? Pod Life Volume 6? Like, come on.
That's pretty much what she did.
Father, I wrote their new screenplay.
She was like, it was safer having her here than it was
you.
having one of us. You know? So it was pretty funny. So we had our own personal Home Alone moment. We still call it the Home Alone time that we were there. She ended up going to Lucy's, but she had a couple of days of like, she was here, her friends up the street she got to hang out with. You know, it's not like she was just alone, but it was that feeling like, oh my God, we're driving going, do we turn around? What do we do? Of course, we had an adult on the other end saying, I'm fine.
Her therapist will, unpack all of this then.
Oh, that's at the bottom of the therapist list. Rob Southgate, your father. That's the bottom of the list.
See all these books? These are just minor conversations with the therapist. We haven't even gotten to our Home Alone event.
No, I'm picking up.
I mean, although I could see her
as a very mature young lady. So
I could see her going to the store.
She's
just like
not Kevin McAllister.
Oh no! I can see her going to the store, buying her own groceries. Is this toothbrush approved by the?
Actually, I think she ordered DoorDash.
Well, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's also the advantage.
American Dental Association, Philip.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other advantage is this is Molly in the future, in our modern world. Where
although I mean, Kevin,
you actually could just call her and say, "Hey, Molly, you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'll do this and I'll do that," and you can like be in contact, and it's a lot easier.
And she's older than Kevin too.
Yeah,
it's not like she was a little kid.
I love the theory that he grew up to become Jigsaw from the Saw franchise.
Yeah, that's an awesome fan theory.
Wow.
And you know what? It's canon.
I don't like that
fan
for theory. I'll be honest with you, because first off, I find Jigsaw. I find all villains just sad and petty. It's like, dude, really?
Yeah, but he was abused by Buzz for that long.
And two, even though it was brief.
And I feel like Buzz was Sydney from Toy Story was Sid from Toy Story was based on Buzz.
And two,
well, yeah,
he did come in physical contact with Donald Trump, so.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, actually
wasn't he salty and petty? Plug.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I will
coming in January 2023.
What I will say about Buzz is I always feel that there's a bit of a Scott Farkas quality to him.
Oh my God, he looks totally like Scott.
Oh, he needs his ass beat. Okay.
Well, he does, but he also, he's got stuff of his own, man. This is a big family, man. I don't know what's going on.
He's under investigation for something from 2017, right? So.
What, the actor? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, graping.
So, what did you guys think of John Candy in this?
John Candy is wonderful.
John Candy is amazing. First of all.
Although, I gotta say, this is one of my favorite scenes in this. Is him trying to get the mom to play his licorice stick, and she's just like, "F no, dude, really?
Come on,
we
try
aren't
it.
even friends. Okay, I really appreciate what you did, but do not make me blow your freaking licorice stick." And we're gonna
try it. Try it.
Slow down and
clarinet.
Slow down and need this for drops.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it was a weirdly awkward scene where you can see he's like, come on, play. It's like, first off, I don't play this instrument, which is a very difficult instrument to play. So why would you even think I would know what to do to blow into it? Except that you either want to embarrass me by putting your clarinet in my mouth and make me blow on it. It's like, dude, you're weirding me out. You're creeping me out. Although
What
I
is this
will
show
say,
rated
hey,
me out?
remember
I'm
when you
just
didn't need the seatbelts and we could all just sit in the back of a big old moving van? Those were the days.
You know what I found when I was in middle school? Might have been elementary school. You know they have a novelization of this movie for like kids. It's from Scholastic.
Oh, really?
And I
Okay.
wish I still
That's really
had it.
good.
But yeah, I had it for a very long time. I thought
Did
that
they
was
change
really
anything?
No, I mean, of course they like shortened as much as they could, but it was pretty true.
Because some of those novelizations are interesting. A lot of times they get them off of the original script.
Yep, and a lot changes from the script.
And things change. Yeah. I think it's the Return of the Jedi one is really good because it's very different. Poltergeist has some interesting scenes in it. I actually read Poltergeist before I saw the movie, and it was weird because it's a movie novelization. I'm like, where are these scenes? What's going on here?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that they can get it out in time. They have
Right.
the screenplay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
1989 Batman had that too. Yeah, there was an extra scene or two in
It's
that
actually
novel.
My favorite is
Yeah.
Gremlins, where you
So
find
much
out
better.
what the heck a gremlin is. And you find out that there's this entire alien race backstory
Yeah,
of
right.
these created creatures
They just
that
said
became
this for
unstable
two.
under certain circumstances. And it's like, wait, what now? And it's beautiful in its simplicity. It's just like, oh, this is, yeah, you wonder what a Mogwai was? Yeah, Mogwai were created by an advanced alien race to be just fun pets, I guess. But sometimes they get a little out of hand.
Which makes
And
them
so
more closely tied to the xenomorph from Alien than we realize.
Well, yeah, except that these were just purely benevolent. These were purely benevolent,
Yeah, but
pet
isn't it interesting
toys.
to think that evolves because Alien takes place so far in the future? They evolve into the xenomorphs.
And was that
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility.
was that like a
Don't
Hollywood?
be a xenomorph after midnight. That's all we know.
Was that like a Hollywood trope where it's like if after a while they're just like, oh, just make them aliens. It's like Gremlins, Highlander. It's just like, yes, let's just make them aliens.
We don't talk about Highlander, Phil. It still burns my
Yeah,
toast,
Highlander
man.
2 is. I don't even think it fits in any other Highlander franchise. That's like the Halloween 3 of the Highlanders series. I don't know if they ever really revisit that entire concept.
I know it seems like a third movie, but they went right to that too.
So speaking of John Candy, I got another fun fact for you guys. A lot of his lines in this movie are improvised.
No, shut the front door. Get out of town.
No,
I would
but-
never know.
But the rest of the cast, they made them stick to the script, including Catherine O'Hara, who is
Who
quite
is
an
actually
improviser.
a phenomenal, yeah. And
But
she's
they-
Canadian, so she has my heart.
They had John Candy for one day,
Oh,
and they were just like, go. Because he was friends with John Hughes, and John Hughes was like, I just want to see what he does
He's
with
like,
this.
give us a
They're fun.
little Uncle Buck, would you?
And of course, he's John Candy. He's hilarious. And I mean, it's such a great performance.
But you know what?
He's such a great, fun actor to watch, you know?
Yeah, but if
After
they
the
let
chat,
if they
respectfully.
I
let
mean,
the mom improvise too, she might have blown the.
Oh, I agree.
The thing, and
Oh,
then
shit.
oh my
Yeah.
god, what are we gonna do now?
But the
She
reason
starts
they
blowing
didn't,
the licorice stick, and now our entire plot line is like, oh
I was just
my
going to say,
gosh.
that's why they didn't have her improvise. She's a straight man in this. She has to stick to Kevin's Home Alone. I got to get back to him.
yeah.
If they let her do some creative things, it turns into Schitt's Creek, and it's not the same movie. It's no longer about Kevin being stuck at home. It's about Catherine O'Hara being a freaking genius, and we can't take our eyes off of her.
But that was the most John Candy moment I thought is when he told her the story. He's like, oh yeah, we left our kid once at the funeral parlor. After 6 or 7 hours, we went back for him. You know, we got over it after a couple months. Yeah, that was like the most John Candy moment I thought in the whole movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Were you guys SCTV fans, or were you just really fans of theirs from the movies?
Yeah, no, I was a big SATV TV.
I
fan.
didn't see him until the movie. So
See, I can never tell by age because when I was in high school or junior high is when SCTV was on and we watched it.
well, I think
I stayed up and watched it.
Wasn't it like geographical too? Like, you know,
Yeah, it's like I lived
It's
in
a
Detroit,
very Midwest
or the
thing,
Detroit
yeah.
Was it?
metropolitan area.
Because that's a Canadian show. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a Canadian
so,
show.
the
but if you're
Midwest,
close
you know,
enough to the border, yeah, like there's some
Yeah,
parts of New
so
York,
Channel
Detroit,
9 came up
CBC.
yeah.
And,
over our southern border because Windsor drops down underneath Detroit.
So
So
yeah,
we could
Friday
watch-
nights, I could watch SCTV. It was on at like 11 at night. I'd stay up. I wasn't supposed to, of course, but I stayed up. I'm an only child that had a TV in my room. Look what happens when that happens to you. But I'd stay up. I'd watch SCTV, and I'd be like, oh my God. And then it was funny because I liked Saturday Night Live, but it wasn't as good. Even though at the time, like everyone's like, oh, Saturday Night Live, oh, it's so great. And that was like the original cast, everything. And I was like, yeah, I love it. But it was like SCTV was like another level. You know, it was weird. And then on Sunday nights, I think I've said this on our show before, Sunday nights, PBS, Doctor Who into Monty Python. Like,
oh, that was classic. Yeah.
I mean, I had the greatest childhood ever. Oh, and Saturday night was Sven Gulli.
Well, lucky you grew up in this universe. Yeah. So, what I will say is one of my biggest problems with this is I always keep on confusing my John Candy scenes between this and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
And Splash, my pencil is big and yellow.
No, I mean not Splash.
There's a drop.
But I will say that because it's the whole having to travel and get to a place.
Right.
And I'm thinking, wait, where's the scene where he's selling the earrings? It's like, oh no, that's a different movie.
You think
also,
that's bad? I get this confused
really
with
good,
throw Mama from the Train. Also
a fantastic movie. Honestly, there's so many good movies out there.
Owen, get this ear bore out of my ear.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if Danny DeVito had gotten that role instead of Joe Pesci?
The night was moist. I'm going to kill her.
Oh, no.
I'm going to kill her.
Kick him. He said the M word. Kick him.
Uh-oh, we lost Charlie. I think he passed out.
Well, good.
Sorry, Charlie. So anyway, I think I'm out of trivia on this. Other than, there's some stuff about like the effects and that. If you read, you could read things about some of the effects that were done. A lot of practical effects, like even the blowtorch on his head is really interesting. They put a glass plate, and he's kind of behind it a little bit. There's a fake head thing there. So it looks like it's really hitting him. They're using, some camera technique there.
That was the heyday for practical effects. I really missed that. I mean,
and there's really good ones. Doing CGI in this would not be the same.
After growing up with Jurassic Park, and then the Jurassic Park I grew up with looking better than the Jurassic Park nowadays, it is a travesty.
Yeah. This one, although the practicals, like when Daniel Stern steps on that nail, I cannot handle it. When you see that nail go up into the foot, it hurts. That's a rough one. I love when the Indiana Jones moment when he touches the door handle and pulls it back. Ah! Totally Toth and Indiana Jones. I love that. All the stuff like the paint cans, you watch it and you're like, okay, well, that broke his skull.
For a day, it's fine.
Oh, please. that cracked his skull open, and look, he fell backwards down the stairs, and he's now paralyzed. Awesome.
Or at least doesn't knock him out. Nothing. Yeah, no, nothing.
But I still love it. It's just a lot of fun. It's a Looney Tunes, It's like in Roger Rabbit when Bob Hoskins gets on the elevator and his body shape changes and squishes and all that, and you're like, wait, he's human. That can't happen. It's like, no, in Toon World it can happen. In Toon World is where we are with Home Alone. So
absolutely agree.
Pretty fun.
And shout out to John Williams.
Yes.
Best original. What was it?
It's got a great
song. Somewhere in Memory, My Memory.
Yep, really great. And the second one is actually really good too.
Can't believe it lost it. What did it lose to? Dick Tracy or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Second one is really good, but then after that, this series is utter garbage.
Oh yeah,
and John Hughes was still writing the screenplay, so I was super confused about that.
Yeah, but let's go back to my theory. Chris Columbus was not.
He absolutely made this movie, but that kind of proves the theory for sure.
Yeah.
But it stopped being about family, because it's like, how many times can that lady really lose her kid too? Because Catherine O'Hara and Macaulay Culkin, like that ending scene, that's just everything.
That's how you keep Wolf in a franchise, keep it about family. Fast and Furious.
So if you look at it from a franchise standpoint, if I was the one overseeing this project, first of all, 1 and 2 fit together. I can do 2. He gets lost in New York. They didn't just leave him there. He gets lost in New York. Not a bad concept. But then after that, you have to do John Carpenter's idea, and you make it an anthology. The idea of They're like
bad parenting.
over and over different things happening. Now, how hard is it to come up with enough things? Probably really hard. But the idea of kids overcoming obstacles this way, maybe they're not home alone in this respect. Maybe they're homeless kids. Maybe they're, who knows? You could maybe do something different. And then actually, if you really want to go into it, I think The Visit should be a sequel to Home Alone 2. Now they get stuck with the weird, creepy grandparents that have sundowners. That's a Home Alone movie.
Now, here's a weird thing, and I know this only through pitch meetings with the great Ryan George. Do you think there's anything to the idea that there was a script in which it was revealed that Harry and Marv are actually immortal beings, and that was they just could never die? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just,
is that a real thing?
I don't know if it's a real thing.
Like they were going to do it for like Home Alone 2 or 3. They were going to reveal that.
Yeah, like it was going to be revealed that they're actually just these beings that just exist forever. And
I mean, if you want to get a horror movie vibe, I mean, I think
as like a
zombies or something.
People, or
yeah, that
purgatory.
Heck, you know what? Maybe hell is life that you live.
Their purgatory is being stuck in Kevin McAllister's house.
Exactly. It's like it always comes back to this.
Phil,
they're stuck in little hellfire's hell, having kids.
Charlie, it gets better. Home Alone 3. We're just rewriting Home Alone 3. It is purgatory for Marv and Stan, or whatever. Marv and
Harry.
So they are stuck in hell, and they're going through these. But it becomes Dante's Inferno. They have to go through 9 levels of Kevin's torture to try to get out. How awesome would that movie be? And in the end, the last level, Xenomorph Gremlins.
Xenomorph Gremlins. And if you look at the pods that the Mogwai become before they become gremlins, those do look like Xenomorph eggs. So honestly,
I'm not wrong.
Rob, you have super connected. You have super connected.
Will made a joke in our private thread yesterday. I called something. And he goes, "You never get anything right." I get most things right, Charlie.
He's like, "I'm not marking your words anymore.
My words are marked, and they are correct.
Mark them."
Mainly because I don't give up on it, and I just say I'm correct until everyone agrees.
I don't doubt you. I don't know. Were you saying that I said you don't get a lot correct?
No, a little did.
Yeah.
Oh, a little? Wow.
Yeah.
What is a little?
Oh!
There's your drop.
Send that to Rob so he
send
can
that to me.
I've got Rob's new ringtone.
I don't know. I love that.
What is a Lodo? Oh, Low Song.
Yeah. Anyway, it's one thing I do like is how the myth of the shoveler, and what is interesting is I don't think we actually ever get an explanation for why he's shoveling all the snow.
He's just being nice and shoveling the sidewalk, so people don't slip, I guess.
Yeah, but like part of me
he's also depressed. Didn't he lose his
created
son?
A story where his wife slipped on ice.
They weren't speaking, so
that's why.
Yeah, he's just dealing with he's
always
kind of
shoveling.
Depressed, so he's out there doing his thing.
It is the Midwest, after all, where we help our neighbors.
Right. We're not heartless bastards like those New Jerseyites. Snooky.
No.
Well, him and his son weren't speaking, but we never actually find out what happened to his wife.
Alien abduction. It all comes back to that.
The truth is out there.
Scully, I swear. The wife.
I'm just saying it would have been interesting if.
I just feel like this is a pitch for the Rob Southgate show.
His wife has been missing for 8 minutes, Scully.
Alien abductions coming from Rob Southgate 2023. A new show.
Yeah, I'm going to break through movies this way.
And when they come in, they do come in weird.
Although, did you ever hear me? I guested on a show a bunch of times.
No.
That was not part of our network, called Remake This Movie Right. And they had me come on, and you would come up with your concepts. I actually did like a 15-minute remake of Star Wars on there. And the guy's like, yeah, he couldn't believe. He was afterwards. He was like, that was brilliant. Like, it's batshit crazy.
And you will find out
what
I'm
I
right
do
so much more often than I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, no, send me
Star
that
Wars
drop.
is a
I want
complex
that drop.
franchise.
I did it for
And,
Hellboy. Hellboy. I did it for Star Wars. I did it for Tron. I did it for something else. But Star Wars was the crazy one because I went on a filibuster, and at the end of the day, they were like, holy cow, no one's ever done more than like 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, that was 15 or 20 minutes.
I just have so much to say. I'm so passionate.
You know it.
You know, honestly, I think Rob could save Hollywood if anyone would let him do it. You know,
I mean,
They better hurry, I'm getting
a
old.
chance, so
Get
it's possible.
Although, aren't I next in line for Warner Brothers? I mean, I've got to be getting close.
It's
You
like
know,
how all
they
the
got
women
James
in America
Gunn.
get to date Pete Davidson. I think all the men in America get to work at Warner Brothers. You just gotta wait your turn.
Or date Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I actually think James Gunn is going to do a great job. I think it's going to change the tone, but I think he gets it.
I have hope. It can't be worse.
Yeah. It can't be worse. I think he gets it. I think that Marvel actually might have to play catch up at some point if they don't shake things up a little bit.
I mean,
Because James Gunn has some vision.
Peacemaker. I mean, it worked.
It did.
Peacemaker.
But you know what? He can't direct all their stuff.
No.
And
Well,
that's where the
they have
problem is.
Directors,
Well,
they
make
have good directors,
He doesn't
so you
have
can
to.
pull them in.
Make him Feige.
He's
Make him
very
Feige.
much the Brian.
Well,
Brian Michael
that's what they're
Bendis.
doing.
He's the connector.
They're making him Feige.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say: for everyone that wants to say that Feige's making missteps, I don't see missteps.
I don't either.
Get out of town! Shut the.
I see a person who's establishing the idea that there is an entire universe that has existed outside of the films you saw.
He's touching the
And I know you want to say that just because it happened on screen, that's what is canon. It's like, no. There's a lot of stuff that happened off screen that you never even knew about.
Right.
And
I
right
agree.
now,
Dracula's definitely looking for his money.
you know, that's the thing. I this is why I don't think we're going to get a X-Men origin or a Fantastic Four origin. And I think we might get, maybe
No,
not.
I think we'll see it in
Oh,
context
baby, we're
a
getting
little
a
bit.
Fantastic Four origin. I don't know where
Well,
you're
you'll get it thrown back.
Right.
Like the one,
But it'll
the
be
one
you'll
spot
see
they
the
had
movie,
was
you'll see the characters, and then they'll show maybe not even in the first Fantastic Four movie, maybe
Yeah,
second
but we're
or
getting
third.
an origin story. It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
have
the
Mole Man.
full Captain. Well, full
Mole
Captain.
Man.
But they're not going to have an origin.
It'll be a flashback. Yeah.
They're not going to have an origin in the MCU in the 616. It's not going to happen. They exist outside of it. It's not like we've already seen a Reed Richards. It's not like they're going to go like, oh wait, Reed Richards. Wait a minute. No, they've already seen that this character exists in another multiverse. Okay, what are we doing here? Anyway, in Home Alone, Joe
Home
Pesci.
Alone,
Oh my
that's right.
God! Rob
It's
Southgate
amazing.
pulled himself back from
Kevin
the edge.
McAllister eventually becomes Batman. And,
Oh,
Fox property. There you go. Sure.
honestly, I always, that I think works the best.
Batman.
Much more than,
My favorite character.
The
much
chance
more
is
than
never zero, Ray.
Jigsaw is the idea. Now, of course, obviously you said, well,
Like the bingo
Batman
card.
had no siblings. It's like, yeah, well, that's what he tells everyone else.
Killed them all to make himself stronger, so he got all the money. Sees.
I don't have
Well,
to
I'm
kill you.
just saying, somehow they always find a relative somewhere. There's always a Van Wayne, and
Van Wayne.
Ooh.
the
The other side. We don't talk about.
I'm
Right.
gonna say it, man. Powerless will be appreciated in time. It is a beautiful series. But no,
Powerless. Good Lord, Charlie.
Powerless was fantastic.
Exactly.
And if people don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to explain to you what good superhero stories are, but there you go. Because
He
again,
just was
to
there
get back-
for Alan Tudyk. We all know.
well, yeah, but to get it back to, and this is what I will say. It's like the
It's
reason
not
why
liberal,
Andor and The Mandalorian are popular is because they're not focusing on everything that is, oh, here's the grand galactic empire. It's like, no, here's everybody else that's dealing with this
You
nonsense.
can have something off left of center, but it's like you have a script behind it too.
Right.
Well, there was
Right.
a script there. Okay, I liked it, but not everyone else did.
That's okay,
Everyone is
Charlie.
as smart as me, and I
Here,
understand that, and I don't judge anyone.
Come here, Charlie. It's okay.
Wow!
It's okay.
My favorite part of this movie is where the dad finds the gold tooth. Like,
Honey, what's this?
Yes. Oh yeah, and of course, and Marv is mad about, or
But
Harry's mad about that. Joe
So-
Pesci's mad about it.
Joe
So-
Pesci.
so Kevin cleaned up all the broken ornaments and that, and the micro machines, but he
Missed
missed
the
the
damn
tooth.
gold
Yes.
tooth.
Well, to be fair, the cleaning up of the micro machines is relatively easy.
Yeah, but
R is hard, but maybe no one's walked on the back steps. Like he could have
oh
gotten.
yeah, no, I could see like walking on the back steps, but yeah, there was the broken ornaments like right around the tree, and
Yeah, well, that's just a broom and a dustpan, Phil. Did your parents not?
well, then why didn't he get the gold tooth?
Because that was elsewhere, and it's also not a sharp, big object.
Hey.
So there's probably lots of little shards of glass, and who hasn't stepped on a shard of glass from a glass you broke 10 years ago when you're walking around barefoot in your apartment? Everyone does that.
Not everyone, Charlie.
Seinfeld did it.
I don't know, man. I find shards of glass all over the place, but then I do live in a hovel.
I was gonna say,
So-
you have two boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I mean that's the thing. It's like, glasses break. You try to get as much glass as you can, but there'll always be some.
I was gonna say, don't you drink your beer out of cans?
Plastic bottles, no, my friend.
Plastic
No,
bottles.
it's never actually anything that's like that.
Charlie only
Oh,
uses
it's-
beer with Pop Tops. They're all vintage, 1968.
Oh, what gets broken
So
is you
close.
drop a glass, like you would drink water out of a glass, and those break. And certain types of glass, especially tempered glass, which is glass that's designed to be dropped, will
On
eventually
someone's
reach,
head to bring it back to Home Alone.
will
Right.
reach a tempered point where it will explode when it's dropped. It'll actually even explode when you do nothing to it, because it's just absorbed enough energy that it's like, you know what, let's just decompress, and it just becomes a bunch of
And that's why
little
you have to
shards
drink
of
your beer
glass.
ASAP. Thank you for making my point.
That's what happens when I go to bed every night.
Oh,
And if you do break a glass, buy a mug
Yes,
from
that,
Southgate
please
Media
sponsor
Group.
us.
yes. Go down. To
I
the
love
show
any
notes.
I missed
podcast.
this whole break. This whole break, kids.
Aluminum.
Aluminium. Aluminium does not break. Well, it does. You could break it easily if you stepped on it or something. Moving right along.
Did we talk this out? Is there anything else?
We talked a lot of
Kid,
stuff.
kid is home alone. He terrorizes burglars. Reunited with family. Very simple setup. Very simple premise. Excellent execution.
And you
And
can
John
watch.
Candy funny.
And you
Yes,
can watch
the
it.
whole movie is absolutely funny.
And you can watch it on Disney
And
Plus.
I think it still holds up,
Yeah,
honestly.
okay.
I still enjoy this
Yeah.
movie very much.
I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
was surprised.
Have
Watch
you ever
this.
seen it, Charlie?
And then watch Die Hard as the sequel to this.
Oh,
then-
Iron Man 3.
And then watch Gremlins as a sequel to that. And then watch Alien as a sequel to that. Now we have quite
Now
the
we're
lineup.
cooking with Crisco.
But yeah, maybe he becomes Yippee-Ki-Yay when he's older instead of Batman.
I could actually see McAllister and what's his name?
McClane. He
No.
wa- McClane's
change
original
his
name
name.
was McAllister, and he changes his name, but he's
Did
not that
something.
bright, so he doesn't change it enough.
Well, he
Well,
changes
you know
it
they
enough.
say you never really do. You always use the.
You know what it
initials or
is?
something. It's a mental.
His
thing.
wife's name is McAllister. Is McLean. He took his wife's name,
Oh,
and he loves her so much. Even if they're
Feminist.
divorced,
Good
I'm
for
keeping the
him.
name. I'm keeping the name.
very nice.
Now it's a feminist love story. Thank you.
Nice, very nice.
So I saw a Christmas Theory recently where when Will Ferrell was on The Office and he has his accident where he hits his head. Then the
That's what
sequel
he
to that is Elf, so he thinks he's an elf after he hits his head on The Office.
Kind of makes sense,
Works for
other
me.
than the whole fact that they're at the North Pole.
He's hallucinating that he's just wandering around there. Oh, turn on.
So then it's just the Fisher King, but from what's his name?
McKay,
Mork from Mork.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams' perspective. Yeah, it's the
There you
Fisher
go.
King.
I like that.
You saw the film The Fisher King, right?
Yeah,
Robin
Yes, of
Williams.
course. Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams. What are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
I mean, honestly,
Harry
it's a-
Gilliam film.
Oh, it's fantastic. But the idea is that, he is Robin Williams' character is a bit mentally ill, and he
As they
sees
all
what he
are.
believes to see. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know that we were doing this with Philistines, Rob. I apologize.
Coming up next, the Charlie Show Podcast King with the mentally ill Charlie Esser
With the highly refined Maz Manzoor.
going through the history of cinema through the perspective of the Eternals.
Oh, yikes.
Esser and Manzoor, your new Siskel and Ebert.
Thumbs up, but let me tell you the history of the thumbs up.
All right, so are we done here?
I'm done.
But do watch The Fisher King. It's a good
It's
film.
a great movie. Great movie.
All right.
Ray's like, I don't know what's going on.
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Sorry.
Ooh.
What? It's nostalgia. I'll give it to you, but like I said, it holds up. It's funny. If I ever have kids, they will be watching this every Christmas.
Whoa! What? If you ever have kids?
Adopted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were just skipping right to grandkids.
Apparently, you can't do that. It's creepy and weird.
Yeah, that's-
So.
Well, that was her plan. No.
You can only jump to grand auntie, and she can do that.
Okay.
She can be an auntie if she lives close enough to anyone of her friends with kids. So
Well,
You
I'm
always
a
be
godmother, but even my godkids are like old. I think the youngest one's like 12. So yeah.
well, they do keep on growing.
Nobody told me.
So now she just collects dogs.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. I'm actually. I mean, I didn't know we were doing. I'm giving it a big thumbs up. This is a good film. I highly liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was entertaining. It had some good bits, and it ties up all of its loose ends very nicely, which I always love in a film. I always love when they address things that everyone else is going to be mad about online later, and it just works. So that's good. So I like the film. It's definitely in the plus column. And Macaulay Culkin's actually a pretty good actor. I think that kid has a future.
For at least a couple more films.
He's lived more than all of us put together. Let me tell you, sweetie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really rate this. It's just it's a classic holiday film. It's a lot of fun. I think I've seen it enough for a while, so I didn't watch it this year. But every couple of years I'll watch it, and it's a good time.
This is my Christmas story.
Elf kind of took the crown of this ilk. It did. Like, we end up watching Elf every year, and you end up getting suckered in, and you're like, it's still funny. This one's great. I enjoy it, but it's a Christmas classic. And,
we gotta do Elf next year. We gotta do Elf next year.
Elf is good. I will always say I'm a little always.
Or you're not doing Jingle All the Way. It's got superheroes in it.
Jingle All the Way is.
Boy, you're really high on yourself, huh, Rob? Really high on yourself, huh, Rob?
No, I just want to get in and rip on that ending.
No, it's.
Rob's like, I got a solid 5 minutes for you. I could really, we could really dissect.
We should really just do an entire dissection of Rob Southgate's.
My 10 seconds. Yes.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie or his whole life?
You took the TV down already. Okay, I was gonna say you're gonna have to play it in slow-mo film. In this frame, you can clearly see.
What were you thinking at 23:54, Robert?
No, but Jingle All the Way is a good film too. But no, it's. And I apologize.
The 90s were filled with 90s classics.
It's not.
Tim Allen was the king of Christmas in my childhood. We can do all of them. Okay. Santa Claus, Christmas with the Cranks, all of it.
Oh, you mean the one where he murders Santa and steals his identity? Yeah.
My favorite.
He doesn't murder Santa. Santa dies, and he just.
It was a setup. He should have assaulted the roof.
Right.
Who thinks someone's going on the roof?
Santa, Christmas.
Tim, the Toolbox Killer Taylor.
I'm just saying. It is never established prior to
the elf set Santa up.
Episode.
Yeah.
He was a literal slave driver, and they were sick of him. It was a mutiny.
Well, that's true. But what I'm saying is, it's like Santa as a public figure was not a quantified idea until the third movie when Jack Frost comes in. So suddenly we're in a post Avengers Endgame world where magic is real and everyone knows it.
And then the sequel to that is Only Murders at the North Pole.
Oh. Exactly.
Little Martin Short joke there. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not here all week.
Martin Short and
like
yeah.
Everybody who have not worked together a lot, really, except for Three Amigos.
Right.
Because it's like Steve Martin wasn't on SNL. He just hosted a lot. And Martin Short was up at SCTV. Those twains never met. And
Well, Martin Short was on SNL also.
well, yeah, I mean, you can only hold that talent back so long.
Welcome to Christmas 2023.
And then you got Ed Grimley.
Are we ready for the plugs yet? I'm ready for the plugs.
I
Okay,
know,
yeah.
I know, Robert.
No,
okay.
I mean literally.
Whoa! Got him.
Phil, you feel
I
me?
want to know what Rob's plugging today, bro. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Rob.
Always
Come on,
something.
Robert. Do you have plugs, Rob? I don't know. What do you got?
Oh man, you know what?
Hey, offer the patrons some consultation. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what?
Everybody has a podcast that's a patron. So.
Well, I've got
Captive audience, Rob.
I've got one site called Southgate Small Business where I do marketing, consulting, and coaching for entrepreneurs and small businesses and podcasters and artists and all that. It's interesting. We also have the Podcast Profs, which is really it was supposed to be for established podcasters, helping them there with their marketing, which they desperately need. But it turned out a lot of people wanted help even launching them. But then out of that, I kept getting people that wanted me to help them put out their first book or market their stuff for Artist Alley. And I'm like, oh, so Southgate Small Business grew out of that. So if you need marketing help, and I don't do it for you, I teach you how to do it. I figure, no, man, I would rather teach you how to do it and work with you.
Just give me the damn fish, Rob.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But it's definitely what I got going on. So SouthgateSmallBusiness.com and thepodcastprofs.com. There's my plugs. And Molly's show, Read Between the Lines. We just did no whatever. We posted 30 full episodes in November of her podcast. She interviews authors, and I'm telling you, it was awesome. And she gets some big names. In there. But it was an awesome show. So definitely check that out. It's called Read Between the Lines, and Molly crushes it. Especially if you're a writer. She gets into that kind of stuff a lot, like asking their technique and all that, because Molly's a writer. And it's just it's fascinating listening. There we go. I plugged the hell.
Yay. All right.
Buy my swag. Go to TeePublic. All right.
Buy some Rob. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Yes, go buy Rob's product.
Make it rain.
All right. So, yeah.
Honey,
And he's out. Thought of his chair. He's out. All right, kids. So if you want to get a hold of us and talk to us,
They know. They're the patrons. They know.
yes, we'll be
They have
back.
a whole group chat.
We'll be back in the new year, but until then, you'll have, yes, again, that power team of Charlie Esser and Maz Manzor on Super Connectivity. But
we're connecting the super things.
hey, they're talking. All right.
I got more plugs, Phil.
Oh,
Order Pod Life. You can get it for Christmas. It's still there. Go to Amazon. Make sure you type in Rob Southgate, because if you type in Pod Life for some reason, it comes up with Pod Living. So volume 1, maybe volume 2 will be out by then. We're trying really hard to get it out. And then this is the book, just so you know, that I just helped him make this happen. I didn't write it or anything, but this was something that Southgate Small Business did as a project. The entire thing with all the awesome illustrations. You don't see any on the back, but let's see if I get a cool one. I can't that quickly. There's a cool one. But yeah, we helped him with launch a book. So that's one of the things we do. So plugs are done.
It's that, Phil or Rob.
What is it? It's
book.
LOTR Mental Health Journal. Eric Cole, who is a licensed therapist. And this is, he goes through the movies and has like meditations and things. See, there's a whole bunch of them in here. And, there's the bookmark. So, yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool project. And, so that's the kind of thing that I do for people. Plugs are over.
there's lots of stuff you could buy people for Christmas and what Rob just told you. All right. So, yes. Whoa.
Yeah, and look on Facebook for I got my toys going on sale right now. Hey,
I was going to say, look
hey, have you ever seen this? His thumb actually goes down. Hey.
Wait a minute.
Are we done
Is that
yet?
like an action Fonzie?
Yeah, you want it? I'm selling it. It's Amigo Fonzie. Hey.
But he has like action movements to give you the thumbs up. Well,
Hey.
That's a premium. That's a premium.
I showed a guy today. I have the Migos Star Trek Enterprise, and I had all the figures in it too. He almost passed out when I pulled that thing out.
There's a drop. There's a drop.
I did that for you, Phil.
We gotta do the bobblehead thing.
I have another show to do. Oh yeah, we need bobbleheads. All right.
Okay, so Phil's supposed to be.
All right, so contact us, email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, now on Hive. So follow us on Hive, Capes and Lunatics. Again, find links to all the various social medias for the many, many shows we do, including the upcoming Salty and Petty in starting January 2023. You can also
Salty. He's petty.
That's right. We need a theme song. All right.
I'll be Paprika.
Cumin. It's Cumin.
Cumin. I am Charlie the Cumin Esser.
All right, follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everything we do gets a video. So if you want to see Rob Southgate's face, get you in the holiday spirit, yes, this will be on YouTube. So subscribe there.
Thrilling.
Yes. All right. No, you're not getting money. All right. The Patreon, most importantly.
Hey.
This is our passion project. We're paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
He's not sick of us yet. Superhero movie brackets are over. We have picked a wiener of worst superhero
crowned a
movies.
wiener.
We can listen
It
to the
was
whole.
painful, but we did it.
Oh, well, hell, you can listen. Yeah, so you can listen to the whole series now. Coming in 2023, you can suggest stuff for us to talk because Lilith Hellfire has decreed it. She demanded it. All right, and also pick up Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Won't break. Or go to Rob Southgate's store on TeePublic and buy his tchotchkes. All right, and
Okay, Grandma.
Fine products.
that's right.
Coming soon, Southgate Media Group Hummels.
Oh, nice.
Part of the Phil Perich collection.
Oh, nice. My shekel. And remember, if you just want to make it rain random money on us, Lilith Hellfire's favorite, just send us money in the Cash App. Link is in all the show notes. So, as we say every time, just use the Cash App.
Make it rain.
All right. Lilith Hellfire, if people want to talk to you about your childhood when you were hatched, where can people
if you're
talk
a proud elder millennial, please contact me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69, and of course on TikTok, making all of the comments and none of the content. Maybe there's content. You have to follow to find out. At Lilith Hellfire69. Duh.
Either do
Tumblr
the
coming soon.
What?
Because we're living like it's 2014, baby.
Either do the 6 or do the 9. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Charlie Esser.
Well, you can always write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and our fathers once did it. Superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things. Wednesday.
Allow that?
He's been live tweeting Willow, but I don't know how, but he's been doing it.
Willow. I mean, it's not really a live tweet. It's I'm watching it and I'm tweeting Willow because I like Willow. Willow is a good series. It's the next series we might be doing on Full Stream Ahead. Ooh. At Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Thank you, Maz.
Lilith, I said last night, these people should be subscribing to our Patreon because now most weeks we're giving them twice the Maz Manzor that they used to get.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right.
Follow me at Rob Southgate. Thanks a lot, Phil. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed your 23rd plug. I'm sorry.
Hey, did you do a bunch of plugs? Dude. You gotta have a script. How do you not know how to do this, Rob?
I know exactly how to do this, Mr. Esser.
All right, kids. For another year, we have been your capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
Podcast? I don't know. Hey, listen to the third best Southgate. Plug.
Coming back in 2020, January 2023.
And happy holidays.
Of course. Happy holidays. I don't care if you celebrate Toyota-thon. You're a real internet friend if you understand that reference.
No, I understood.